Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another installment of My German Life. Today I wanted to talk to you about driving in Germany. When I first moved to Germany, driving was one of the things that stressed me out the most. But once I got on the road, I realized it really wasn't that different from driving in the US. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the main differences and also just some things you should be aware of if you're planning on driving in Germany. Gotta start out with the basics. The number one thing is that you need a driver's license to drive in Germany, just like in most places. If you're visiting from the United States, you can get an international driver's license from any number of places. I know AAA sells them. That's where my parents got theirs when they came over last summer. And there's a few online websites where you can get them as well. The next thing on our list of basics is a GPS. I cannot stress enough the importance of having a GPS. One thing that you're going to notice when you start driving in Germany is that there are no cardinal directions on the street signs. North, south, east, west. They don't do that here. Usually when I'm driving around in the States, I know generally the direction I'm supposed to be heading, so I just follow this road west, this road north, etc. You can't do that here. In Germany, on a directional sign, it'll just say the city that that road will take you towards. But if you don't know that that city is north, south, east, or west, then you have no idea where you're going. That's one reason a GPS comes in handy, because I don't have the entire geography of Germany memorized. I don't know exactly which direction every city I see on a sign is located. The next basic thing we should probably talk about is getting gas in Germany. Getting gas here is very similar to getting gas in the States. I mean, there's hardly any differences. You get out, you pump it, you pay. You know the drill. Most gas stations also take credit cards, so that's not something you really need to worry about. There's also ATMs in most gas stations as well, just in case they don't take credit cards. The thing about German gas stations is that unless they're on a major highway or in a high traffic area, they're probably not going to be open that late. Also, be aware that gas is very expensive here. Right now, like today, the average gas price for regular unleaded gas is about €160 per liter. That translates to about $7.50 a gallon. Kinda steep. Okay, so that's enough of the basics. Let's move on to the Autobahn. The Autobahn is probably what most people think about when they think about driving in Germany. In my mind, before we moved here, I had this weird mental image of the Autobahn. I thought it was just one road, just one big road with lots of lanes, and you could just drive as fast as you wanted, no speed limit. That was exactly what I thought the Autobahn was. I don't know if that's a common misconception. I don't know even where I got that from, where I heard that, but that's what I thought. In reality, the Autobahn is just the system of interstate highways here. There are a bunch of Autobahns, and they go north, south, east, west, all over the place. And while it is true that there are many places on the Autobahn that don't have a speed limit, there are also plenty of places on the Autobahn that do. The average speed limit you're going to see on the Autobahn is 130 kilometers per hour. That's roughly 80 miles per hour, so it's still pretty dang fast. You would think that with no speed limit, or in some cases a high speed limit, the Autobahn would have a lot of accidents, but that's really not the case. The accident rate here is relatively low because people here know how to drive, and you will notice that immediately. Germans are good drivers. One thing in particular that you're going to see on the Autobahn is that no one rides the left lane. Just like in the States, near any big city, you're going to hit traffic. There is plenty of bad traffic to be had on the Autobahns. Don't think it's going to be smooth sailing at 90 miles per hour everywhere you go. There are plenty of Staus to be had, as the Germans call a traffic jam. And road construction also, especially in the warmer months, is prevalent. Just to wrap up my Autobahn section, I want to say that driving on the Autobahn is one of my favorite things to do in Germany. Now let's move on to city driving, which I'm not quite as big a fan of. City driving in Germany can be similar to city driving in the States if you're driving in, say, New England. If you're familiar with driving in, like, Boston, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Windy, narrow roads, lots of one-way streets, traffic circles. That pretty much defines driving in cities in Germany. One of the most important things you're going to need to do before you drive in Germany is study the traffic signs. If you do a Google search, you'll find some websites that have the traffic signs on them. But the traffic signs here are different, and they're everywhere, especially in the cities. There are traffic signs everywhere, and it can get really confusing if you don't know what they all mean. With city driving, I have to once again stress the importance of a GPS. With all the one-way streets, the windy roads, the narrow roads, the roundabouts, it can get really stressful city driving, and you don't want to have to be glancing at a map while you're trying to navigate this. Trust me, I've tried, it's not fun. The speed limit in cities is between 30 and 50 kilometers depending on the type of area that you're driving in. That's between 19 and 31 miles per hour roughly, so it's not that fast. It's pretty slow actually. It's really important to watch your speed though. There are traffic cameras everywhere. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about as far as driving in the cities is parking in the cities, because parking once again can be very stressful. Street parking is available pretty much everywhere. Parking garages are also very prevalent in downtown areas. A few words of warning about the parking garages. The spaces are small. The little alley between cars on either side, quite narrow. Another thing with the parking garages here, you don't pay from your car as you leave. I learned this the hard way. There's usually a machine near the pedestrian entrance to the parking garage, and that's where you pay. You stick your ticket in, put your money in, your ticket comes back out, and then when you leave, you put your ticket in the machine and the gate goes up. Okay, and that's pretty much it for just a general introduction to driving in Germany. I know that was pretty basic, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I didn't cover. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Okay, and now that this video is 100 years long, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and I will see you guys later. Bye!